billion years ago. Earth's inner heat has been continuously struggling to escape. We see the result as volcanoes, but that's just one part of it. To me, nothing has been more important to the history of our planet than the heat trapped inside it.
No force on Earth is more dramatic, more destructive, more violent than volcanoes. But they're so much more than just a force of destruction. They're the life force of our planet. Quite simply, without volcanoes, I wouldn't be here. And neither would you.
Next time, the atmosphere. It's immensely powerful, but at the same time, highly sensitive. It's destructive, and yet it also protects us. Now it's changing fast, with potentially devastating consequences.
Wow. This series continues next Tuesday on BBC Two at the same time at 9 o'clock. Next tonight, the engineers race to complete their step of the St Pancras International refit. And on BBC Four now, a trip back in time to the 1800s in the series The History of the World Backwards.
Are we all trying to find the right one the wrong way?
For your typical Brit, meeting someone is quite random. Going out, getting drunk, falling into bed, and then waking up years later wondering why you're still single.
I'm happy, but I can be happier.
I just think I've got really high standards.
I have a lovely life, but it'd be nice to share it with somebody.
Can modern singles learn from another culture?
You wouldn't buy a car or a house like that, so why would you expect to find your life partner like that?
Arrange Me a Marriage starts Thursday at 8 on BBC Two.
I have been sent anemones with the compliments of Major Gordon.
Miss Matilda Jenkins. Should never have known you.
I could never have mistaken you, Mr. Holbrook. Oh, Major Gordon. Should you like to marry? I don't think I should get the chance.
It's always such a sequence of continuous delight.
Cranford, Sunday at 9 on BBC One.
Could there have been a bigger display of incompetence than losing the personal details of 25 million citizens? We'll be talking about the fallout and the two men who want to become leader of the Liberal Democrats debate against each other live in the studio. Join us at 10:30.
And after Newsnight, Ewan and Charlie hit Bandit Country. Another chance to see Long Way Down at 11:20. Now on BBC Two, some strong language as the engineers prepare for an inspection.
Previously on the £800 million railway station. Architect Alistair's recent health scare has made him re-evaluate his life.
I did. I've put too much into the work. Too much.
Come to realise there is life out of work.
Engineer Claire has worked every day for the last 6 months in a battle to complete the build on time.
I knew you would return.
Remind me not to. I never like women to be ever right.
I know you don't like women to be right. Goodness, Dennis, imagine being married to you. Bloody man.
The relentless sacrifice to complete the project motivates Claire's boss, Mark, to make a life-changing decision. For the engineers, the final deadline has arrived. "5 years of construction. Grade 1 listed. 5,000 workers. £800 million. Britain's gateway to Europe. The country's biggest railway project in over 100 years. St Pancras International is about to open. Huge financial incentives and personal reputations are at stake. And for many, the project should be the pinnacle of their careers. After 5 years of building, all the major civil engineering work is coming to an end at St. Pancras International. Before the station can be handed over to the next wave of construction, the commercial fit-out of shops and restaurants, Claire and Mark must get their work signed off in a series of major client inspections.
I'd say we're probably trying to operate the inspections how we want to. If I can string them out to 3 o'clock in the 5 areas, I'll be quite happy to do that. But I'm not going to tell them that to begin with. I am manipulating the situation. But I have to. We want to make best use of his time. We don't want him wandering through areas that aren't really ready for him to wander through. My game plan is to wear Roger out. He's going to be my best mate. I'm just going to have to charm him.
So, just run me through what's on the
Where's
list.
Nick?
Roger Elstow is the client's lead inspector. He must assess the station and decide whether the engineering work is up to standard and can be officially handed over to the fit-out team.
On the others where there's still work to do, I think it's wrong to do an inspection at the moment. So my feeling is it needs another week. It's a game. Contracting is a game a lot of the time. An expensive game some of the time. Well, it's just manoeuvring. You know, all the politics that goes on. Little P's and big P's. It's not just a board game. It's often three-dimensional chess. Involuted, convoluted, all the things that are said or not said.
To deliver this thing, and we are going to deliver it, it's all-out effort. And doing that all-out effort, but taking the time to step back and communicate and make sure you know everything you need to know is it's tricky to drive that through. But it's
Liaising between the client, Roger, and the engineers, Project Director Ailey McAdam is responsible for delivering the build on time. With inspections round the corner, she visits key members of her team to check on their progress.
we all need time off, and I do worry that Claire works too hard, I must admit. But just to deliver a job like this, you've got to have people who are willing to put in 7 days a week. She's certainly one of those. On this job, if you look at her progression, she started off responsible for a particular area of the work, and now she's responsible for this whole undercroft. So she's, I mean, the hard work has paid off as far as she's concerned, and she's certainly, her career will never be the same again. And I suppose you pay for that, don't you? And that's for the time, yeah.
What I like about Ailey is, and it's something that I always want to go forward, is I never want to move away from a live, active site. And I always want to be in a position where I can make a difference on site. And Ailey does that every day when she comes onto site. You know, she's regularly on site, she's getting into the thick of things, she's getting involved. She's not just in a glance over the project.
You're here all the time.
I know, but I'm obsessed.
Yeah. I worry about the fact that you're working as hard as you are. On the other hand, I'm just very, very glad you are. So I'm sort of...
She has led this project so well, and she brings a very realistic approach to things. And if she wants to say something, or she wants to criticise, or she wants to praise, she will do that, and in any forum. Well, I always think, right, if I don't come in and some of my engineers have a really challenging day or a hard battle or something happens, I think, well, I'm their line manager. Yeah. I need to be showing responsibility to them. Yeah. I should be in.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, you've got to somehow get some sort of balance in, I mean, it's not quite so bad now you're single. When you've sort of got 6 kids.
Impossible. Completely impossible.
Construction is an itinerant business. For Claire's boss, Mark Allison, a new opportunity has arisen that will change everything.
There's a few more things to worry about than ceilings. There's other issues on the project, and there's other issues with me, so... Oh, yeah. Well, I've got this going on in my life. I've potentially got my next project coming up, which means resigning from this project, and that means moving my whole family abroad. Potentially the next job is in Qatar, in the Middle East. It's something that I think if I don't do it, I'll regret not doing it. And from a quality of life point of view, at the moment, I see my family on a Saturday and a Sunday and a Friday night. If I go over there, I see them every night of the week. So from my point of view, I should do it. But from my MD's point of view, wrong move.
For many of the engineers, the station is the biggest challenge of their careers. These inspections are the culmination of 5 years of civil engineering. For Claire, it's the next major milestone in her career. It's the morning of the inspection of the 20,000 square meters in the Undercroft. The last 4 years of Claire's work will be scrutinized and assessed.
Right, okay, departure toilets. Big style, Dave. We need something turned around in 2 hours here. No, you don't. You've got 2. I'm standing here at the moment. Well, where are the others? All right, can you please concentrate on it, Dave? Why didn't they do it last night? It just makes it easier this morning when we've lots of other panicky things to do. My God, it takes 5 seconds to do it. Oh, it annoys me. It's my name that's hooked on these areas. I can't hide behind anything. I know we've got 2.5 hours left. I know that. And probably slightly more. But it is important. These handovers are so important. Maybe I take it too personally. Maybe that's what the whole thing is. Oh well.
Dear Jeff and Clive, further to my various discussions over the past 4 weeks, I'm in a position where I would like to formally tender my resignation from Costain. And that says it all. Send. Gone. Goodbye. I've had enough. With everything that's been going on to complete the project, plus all potentially the new job situation, stuff at home, and other stuff, I'm just drained. So that's the issue I've got right now. So Ailey came to see me. She said, "Will you stay for an extra month?" And I said, "No."
The staircase hasn't been touched. It's still full of brick, debris and wrappings. The Barlow House toilets hasn't been cleaned out. The lobby is full of glass cladding panels, so we haven't even touched the attendance room frame yet. The north toilets, stainless steel wrapping still on. Nobody had gone in there last night. There's a complete bomb site.
9,000 tons of iron, 900,000 litres of concrete, and 1 million bricks have been used in the restoration of the station. And above it all, the roof is made out of 2.5 acres of self-cleaning glass panels. The inspection has begun, and Claire must demonstrate to the lead inspector, Roger, that works done on the travelators are complete and ready to be handed over. Architect Alistair Lansley is also part of the inspection team and is there to check that the engineering work complies with his designs.
So any of it has been snagged. Why, are you seeing other things, Alistair?
No, only the obvious.
Alistair, I'm going into your territory now, but I'm not very happy with this set of panels here. The way when you stand down there and you look at the lines here, they go in and out, up and down. This is crazy that these don't line up.
No, there's no way we would have done that.
No.
Anybody worth his salt.
I might not agree with you sometimes, Alistair, but that is so fundamental. I don't feel we should be accepting that. You know, when you come up there, you want a nice line. Do the job properly first time, rather than just doing it for the sake of doing it, and you end up with, you know, I come along and push and. Claire, this is very rough.
Okay.
Very rough. And you got all this lot. I mean, it just doesn't read right. Claire?
Don't ask me.
No, I mean,
hang on, I'm being tortured here.
And just look here.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay. Yes, we have the alignment issue down.
It's, you know.
Oh, God, seriously. Steve, I think we're in for a rejection. I really do. I think we've got to play it later that these are snags, not.
I agree.
Right, next one to look at.
Go across the gap.
That one? They're just trying to rush it through, and it's not. No, we're out here. We'll do it. We'll look at each one, but I should kick it back into touch again. Claire, in one way, the line of these and the way they fit together is much better than the other. But then there comes a but. This gap here is quite wide at that end, and it narrows down as you go here. So again, what is this gap meant to be, and what are the tolerances, please? If it's intolerance, I'll shut up. I don't know. I've asked the question. Right, let's have a look at another one. Too many issues.
I don't remember looking like that in 20 years' time.
No, but now they should be right.
They'll never be right.
Troy's trying and see if I try and desperately say, well, these are snags, Roger. Yeah, we know the panels aren't quite aligned, but they're snags. But Tom with Lynn saying, oh, these aren't ready, come back in a week, Roger. He's sticking his knife in like doom and gloom. So, I mean, the issues, in fairness, have not changed in any single one we've gone on. They're the same things. You know, the alignment, the ceilings, there's nothing more that they're finding on any one. So, and we did the lobbyways. I think we're okay on the lobbyways. We just got to do that lobbyway yet. We're just looking a bit sort of half-hearted.
I mean, this edge here, you just look at that there.
Absolutely.
Oh, you got a big wide gap.
I mean,
you got.
But even in architecture, to let that just slam against it,
yes.
We would never have done that. That's the cheapest, most expedient detail. And look at that. Look at that panel. That just misses all that. Nothing runs through. Architecturally, you know, I could weep. I just could weep.
Anyway, what's going to be jolly?
It's always a difficult time.
We can make our way up to the north.
What he says is that Roger finished his completion review yesterday evening, and when Claire came back, Claire was about ready to throw herself off the bridge or off any nearest cliff.
Roger was not happy with the travelators at all, and did not give us a green on the travelators. Not that they've been rejected, they just haven't passed. And he and Alistair were very concerned about the what appears to be workmanship out of tolerance in a lot of our interfaces. Their comment was that the workmanship is so out of tolerance that the joints and all just look crazy wrong.
The perception that was pervaded at the meeting as they site walked was no good, no good, no good, no good, issues, issues, issues.
No matter how much planning an engineer can do, construction can be an unpredictable profession. Mark must break the news of his resignation to Claire. His departure will leave a gap, and someone must take over his duties. With 5 days to go before the major inspection of the whole Undercroft, Claire's workload is about to triple.
I've agreed to stay to the 10th because it makes it easier for Clive and everybody else. So that means from the 10th it'll be you.
I think I'm going on holiday on the 10th for 2 weeks.
Are you?
Yeah.
So that means you'll be in charge after that?
Right.
Whole lot?
Right, marvellous. North of 57?
Everything.
Oh, wow.
All of it?
Oh, God.
You'll be all right. The biggest problem you're going to have is to understand the rest of the project.
Everything north of 57 and above
And
in
above.
Kindick, yeah.
Yeah. So progressively over the next 6 weeks, we need to do a better handover than I ever had, so as you can get familiar with rooms, critical areas, workload, who's the people. So we need to do that.
Probably the reality of it hasn't hit me yet, because there's a lot of people leaving the project that have got the history of certain items, and it's okay when they're here because they're actioning things and they're plodding along, they're getting things done, but soon a lot of those characters are going to be gone, and I won't have absorbed the history of a lot of the issues. So I think that's going to hit me relatively soon.
Claire will finish the project. Claire knows she's going to finish the project. She's been told she's finishing the project. The team know ultimately she's going to finish the project. So I think she's apprehensive a little bit, because having finished a couple of projects before myself, is twice as hard to finish them.
He's kind of always been that sort of strong figure there that was probably on an equal understanding of the problems and the challenges that we had, whereas, take that out of the equation and it's kind of, oh my God, who do I now go to have my rant and raves to, whereas before he was always in the same thinking as I. So I'll just have to rant and rave to myself.
But she's got a challenge for sure. But she'll be okay.
The contract that Claire and Mark's company have with the client is driven by financial incentives and bonuses. Failure to meet their deadline will result in the company being heavily penalised.
If we don't complete our contract by the 6th of July, then we are exposed to liquidated damages, delay costs for others, and that's fixed at a rate per day which goes up after 30 days. So if we don't achieve contract completion by that date, or an agreement that we are close to it and therefore charges don't apply, then we get hit with them. 50,000 a day. And the incentive is just over 2 million. And we'll get, you want my opinion, they won't get it all.
It's the morning of the major Undercroft inspection. With the added responsibility on her shoulders, this is the most critical day of Claire's career.
It's not a good morning, and you guys are making me paranoid.
Oh, what's up?
What do you think's up? Have you seen Stair 9.5?
Yes.
Don't.
Work in progress.
Jesus Christ. Future, I'm just going to stay and clean it myself.
Mark's going to lead the senior management team through Claire's section of the Undercroft. They will ultimately decide whether to grant or deny the £2 million bonus and sign off completion.
Still bored? Idle? Nothing to do? No?
Plenty to do.
And why aren't you doing it?
We're trying to get the mutes to do it.
Oh, you want mutes? Okay, you're forgiven if it's mutes.
Yeah.
You can go tidy your storage area. I'm going to go and check. Mark, it's Claire. Hi. It's just to let you know the tour has left. Yes, and I'm just worried about there's a lot of people on 1.1. You probably have half an hour to wrap them up. We need to be kicking them off here, I feel, about 9:30 at the very, very latest. Okay, thanks, Mark. Cheers. Bye. Hello, David. I know you have to stand and wait. You want to go on Clinging 3 too, don't you?
Yes.
But please, please wait for the tour to pass.
When will they be there?
No later than, I would say, 9:30. You can jump back on that travelator.
This is a test of the public address system. No action is required.
I think nearly when that window clinger finishes swiping at the bottom end, then that should be it. I'm going to get into customs now. Rolo, 15 minutes need to kick you out of here. Just for about 15 minutes to let the tour pass. I don't want them to see us painting columns when the tour... Keep hoovering. Aha, there's the tour. I'm just texting all the gang now to tell them tour is in the undercroft. Go, go, go.
Into customs. We just didn't get quite everything done that we wanted to do in here for your visit.
Done though last week and this week.
Ow! Just nip my fingers.
Gosh, this is a huge amount of work in the last 3 or 4 days. Yeah, the last 12 hours, yeah. This is amazing.
I know, it's incredible.
How many people they had working here last night?
A lot.
It's well worth it.
So we'll go out into the lobby and then we're going to go and have a look at the public toilets.
Can you get that thing out of here, please? Just for all of us, 15 minutes maximum.
This was Claire's baby, as it were, that and the Barlow house. The Barlow house was the same type of thing, metre-thick walls. She deserves massive credit for this.
The logistics of getting...
5 months ago, the architects couldn't agree on a ceiling.
Yeah.
No.
Do not go in there. They're on their way to arrival. Stay out of here, please. They're way ahead of time.
We're actually going to leave the doors that colour just to annoy Alistair.
Mark actually likes it. He wants you to change all the other doors.
Yeah.
So well they use it.
We need to move you out of here. Okay, well... Right. Okay, that's lovely. Come on, take your bucket and the rubbish. Oh, here's some more here. Whoa, do this bit. Come here. Hello. Do this bit. Brush, bucket, everything in here. You can come back in 20 minutes and get them. Oh, super. Right.
A lot of fun. They had to paint the cameras Indian red so that Alistair wouldn't accept them otherwise.
Blends in well though, you don't know.
No, you don't.
Like part of the rainbow.
No, it's exactly right. I think we were right in doing what we did and agreeing between us to spend the money because, well, you've got a brand new roof.
Would have been just...
And we've renovated it and it looks the business now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Marsh just texted me, we're coming down into arrival. I was like, fuck's sake, Mark, you're not meant to be here till about 20 to 10. Here they are, they're here. It must be going okay. They wouldn't be this quickly around if it's gone badly. They'd be really nitpicking. And I've just managed to jam my hand in the silver door.
Right.
Nice job. Looks amazing in there.
Shit, what you mean arrival?
Fantastic.
It looks absolutely fantastic.
I know, I don't think I slept at all. But it's looking good this morning. Yes.
Looking very good.
Thank you, really.
Excellent.
With the main engineering work completed, the transformation of St. Pancras International from a 19th century icon into a 21st century rail terminal must now enter a new stage. Over the next 5 months, the station will undergo another facelift as the fit-out and PR departments create a commercial shopping arcade, a 98-metre champagne bar, and centre stage, a 9-metre bronze statue. Whilst Claire takes over Mark's work to complete the build by November, he's preparing for his new life abroad.
I've got to move forward. We've got to think about our family, we've got to think about our life as well as my profession. And profession moving to Doha as a step up, so it's going to give me a better quality of life. I'm going to see you and the kids every single night. Like I say, every day I'll be home. I can take the kids swimming in the pool, I can do sport with the kids, we can do things as a family together, because I'll know that I'll be coming home every night. I'm okay. I am absolutely glad I'm out of here.
We're not finished yet. Yes.